Namaste, namaste, and welcome to Monday Midday Chair Yoga, our second week of the term so far. And today we are going to dedicate our practice to that grounding, earthing energy of the base chakra. So I have got a red squashy ball, which we will use later on in our practice, and a block to hand. It's just useful to have a block sometimes. I'm going to pop these things down. And we're just going to have, I'm just going to tell you a few little bits about the base chakra so you can perhaps have that sense of connecting into the energy as we go through our practice. So the base chakra is directly underneath the body between the legs and points downwards, points up into the body as well, but downwards is mostly where we think about it. And it connects into the energy of the lowest part of the pelvis and the legs and the feet. It's red, that's the color of the energy. I should really be wearing red today, but I've opted for these snazzy leggings instead. So it's red and it's associated with earth, with grounding, feelings of steadiness, stability, solidity, reliability, and being strong from center in that sort of unwavering fashion of strength where it doesn't matter what life throws at you, you are just strong, steady, and stable. So with that in mind, let us begin with just sitting towards the front of the seat and feeling the parts of the body that are connecting downwards. So for chair yogis, always that includes our bottoms, our sit bones, when we're sitting on the seat, but also the feet. So we're focusing on these two areas of the body, pressing down, and then we're using the strength from there to lengthen ourselves up just gently. We're not over lengthening. We're not trying to lift the ribs. We've just got that gentle sense of lift through the crown of the head. Today, we're going to rest our hands onto our abdomens and then soften the elbows and maybe close the eyes if you feel comfortable, or if you prefer, just gazing gently downward. Take this moment to step away from everything else going on around you so that you come into this time and space for yoga. Notice how your body feels in this moment. Notice any aches and pains or areas of stiffness and tension. And remember to work compassionately with those places as we move through our practice. Notice as well at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, spacious, and at ease. Allow that sense of ease to blossom out from wherever it's centered, moving through the body, creating ripples of ease. Notice your breath in this moment, your natural breath. We are going to focus on this breath, gently, perhaps deepening the breath to feel a sense of drawing the inhale, the in part of the breath, deep into the lungs. And as we exhale, just slowly, steadily, softly exhaling. So we're drawing the breath deeply in. Perhaps as we draw the breath in, we feel a sense of length through the body, the torso, to facilitate that deep inhalation. And slow, soft, steady breath out. As you breathe in, perhaps you can feel the body moving against where your hands are resting. As you breathe out, perhaps there's a softening of the body back towards center. So without enhancing or forcing that movement of the body, we can focus on that deep breath in, creating a sense of openness, expansion through the front of the body, deep breath out, softening back to center. And this way of breathing, diaphragmatic or abdominal breathing, slow, centered, and steady, is associated with that element of earth and our base chakra energy, Muladhara chakra, Muladhara chakra. So with each breath in, we can feel that activation of the energy in the base of the torso, but also a sense of length through the body. And with each breath out, perhaps we drop into our sit bones and our feet a little bit more. We feel that deeper sense of connecting down. And with the hands connecting to the abdomen. And you can stay with this breath, maybe softening the forehead, feeling the shoulders relax down. Or we can add an element of mantra to our practice. So the bija mantra, the seed mantra for the base chakra is LAM, L-A-M, LAM. And we can say this either out loud or internally as we exhale. I will demonstrate. Breathing in first. Lam, 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 as you exhale. And you can go as fast or as slow as you like, or you can make it a bit more resonant and rhythmic. For example, breathing in. Lam, 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 lam. So we're going to do 3 of these breaths together. And if you prefer to repeat the mantra in your mind instead of out loud, you can definitely do that too. Connecting down, feeling that lift that you can do because we're strong and stable from center. And then 3 deep breaths, exhaling lam. Breathing in. Lam, 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 lam. Whenever you're ready to breathe in again, focus on your feet as you lum, 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 lum. Deep breath in. Feel the resonance through your body as you lum, 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 lum. And then allow your breath to find a quiet rhythm again. Relax your hands. Feel any effort in the body soften. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest, lifting your chest and taking your chin towards your chest. Feel that gentle sense of length. And in your own time, raising your head, blinking your eyes open, releasing your arms down to the side. And we'll just do a few slow and steady shoulder rolls. And slow and steady is our mantra, if you like, additional mantra, our energy for the class. Because that's what the base chakra is about. It's about that real sense of reliability. Nothing is frivolous, nothing is impetuous, everything is steady and stable. Let's bring ourselves to center and just gently open the neck with some neck rolling. So chin towards chest, rolling the right ear towards the right shoulder, and chin to chest, and left ear to left shoulder. We're going from side to side, perhaps starting small and exploring into space as it becomes available. A sense of openness down the sides of the neck. Maybe beginning to slightly lift the chin to find just a little more movement. This time, as the right shoulder, ear comes to right shoulder, we can pause and gently nod the head. Really slowly up and down, still connected into our feet and our sit bones. As the chin comes down this time, rolling back through center, all the way left ear to left shoulder, and then that slow nodding of your head. As the chin comes down this time, coming back through center and bringing the head upright, maybe bottom teeth over top teeth to take the chin up. And slowly back down to our starting point, rolling the shoulders, making any movements that feel good. Maybe it's a little bit more gliding, but nice and slow as we go from side to side. And then coming back to center again. So we can activate our feet while we're sitting here, but we are going to do some more movements standing up as well. So let's start with just spreading the toes out and placing the feet down. All of the toes lengthened away from center. Leave your big toes down, take all the other toes up if you can, and then place all the toes down and lift just the big toes up. So we're just pressing the big toe down, lifting the rest of the toes up, pressing the other toes down, lifting the big toes up. There's this gentle movement across the ball of the foot. Perhaps you can really tap into the sensations going on there, the activation of the foot, the different muscles that are working, the different structures in our bones and tendons and ligaments sliding past each other. And when we've done a little bit of this from side to side, we can move the whole foot. So rolling to the outside edge of the foot, lifting the inner part of the foot off the floor, and rolling to the inside edge of the foot, lifting the outer edge off the floor. So if it helps, you can roll your knees in and out to begin with. So you tap into that sensation of transferring weight from the inside edge of the foot to the outside edge of the foot and vice versa. But once you've done a few of these with the knees moving, try to bring the knees to steadiness and roll only from the ankle. So only moving across the foot itself and the ankle. The knees are steady. We're holding them in place with the energy of our base chakra, that steadiness, that foundation, that stability. Strength from center. Very good. We're going to bring our feet to steadiness in the center. Just shift yourself back on your chair a little so that you can free your feet from the floor. Maybe give your legs a little kick. Nice childlike quality here. Nice and soft. We're not trying to lengthen each leg and bend it as much as possible. It's really a flutter of the legs. And then rolling the ankles. With the feet free from the floor, we just get the opportunity to move a little bit more. We're rolling the opposite way as well. Very nice. And then here, we're going to just slide towards the front of our seat again. I might turn myself ever so slightly sideways, so it's easier to see. And we're going to come up onto the balls of the feet, if you can, up onto the tips of the toes, and then back to the balls of the feet and back to the feet flat on the floor. So we're coming up onto the balls of the feet, up to the tip of the toes, and then back to the balls of the feet, heels to the floor. And we're just doing one more like this, balls, toes, balls, heels. And then we're going to try going back the way as well. So we're going to come up. We can just make it one steady movement to as far up as feels good. And then as you come back, coming onto the heels to lift the toes from the floor. And depending on ankle flexibility, that's not going to be very much of a movement. So we're rolling all the way forward, more sweeping movement, and then all the way back, lengthening through the whole of the length of the foot as we lift up and down. And as we do this, we articulate through the fascial layers, in addition to the muscular layers and the skin of the feet, on both the top and the bottom. But it's the fascia we're really concerned with, because we're just releasing tension from those layers, and we're moving them, we're sort of smoothing them out, making their movements a little less stiff or stuck. Let's do one more. Very good. And then again, just sliding yourself back into your seat, letting your feet find some space from the floor. They can be high or low, it doesn't matter. I just really fancied stretching my legs there. Rolling the feet at the ankles a few times in each direction. And you can also do a little bit more focused practice of moving the feet at the ankles, maybe in the same direction at the same time, going the opposite way, a little slower, a little steadier once you've released the tension from the feet. And then we can place the feet again on the floor. And here we're going to sit tall, and with our right leg first, extend the leg out in front and then bend the knee. Extend the leg out in front and then bend the knee. Doesn't matter how far towards straight that leg gets, we're focused on maybe pressing into the left foot to extend and bend. Left side of the body stabling, extend and bend. Let's swap sides, pressing down with the right foot, extending the left knee and bending. Extending and bending. The foot finds the floor every time. Extending and bending, and really taking the weight onto that right side, firm in the center. One more. Extend and bend. Lovely job. So, as we're here, we're just going to roll the shoulders, do a little bit of side bending and twisting, front to back movement with the spine before we come to standing up. So we'll start with that front to back movement. We're going to slide the hands to the knees as we round the spine forward, bring the chin towards the chest, and slide the hands back to the hips. Bring the elbows behind the body to open the chest and lift the chin. Sliding the hands forward, scoop the belly in as you round. Think about pressing the feet into the floor. Keep the feet pressing into the floor as you slide the hands back, opening the chest, elbows back. Sliding forwards, rounding through the back of the body. Sliding back, opening through the front of the body. Let's do one more. Sliding forwards with the hands back with the body. And moving in the opposite direction. Coming back to standing steady, sitting steady even, but upright. Our feet are active into the floor. We've got that sense of lift. Take the arms nice and wide and just do a gentle twist to the right and then a twist to the left. We're trying to find that steadiness from center to move nice and slowly from one side to the other. One side to the other. We're going to do one more in each direction. But this time, as we turn to the right, we're going to hold. Just ease some effort into the hands. Press into the feet a little stronger. See if your head will turn or your shoulders will turn to the right a little bit more. Take a deep breath in here. Gentle sigh out. And then coming back through center. Whole body moving as one over to the left. Maybe using a little bit of effort in the hands, not much. Pressing down with the feet, lifting with the crown of the head, turning to the left. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Unwinding and just maybe doing a few small movements side to side before coming to rest in the center in steadiness. And then again, we may have relaxed the effort in the legs, so we're just pressing the feet down to find that lift, that engagement of the pelvic floor and the belly muscles. We'll take the arms out to the side and just gently lean to the right and then lean to the left. As you lean to the right, look to your left hand. Make sure you're not rounding forward. You're going sideways. And same on the opposite side, just making sure the right arm is reaching to the right. It's not forward. The shoulder isn't falling forward. And as we go from side to side, it doesn't matter how far to the side you bend. It's about keeping that beautiful sense of open, perhaps engaging the space between the shoulder blades to keep the arms beautifully aligned here. Very nice. And we'll do one more to each side. The legs still active. That strong, steady, stable base. When you come back to center, softening the arms down to the sides, we're going to relax the legs again, just sitting back on our seats, just swinging or doing anything that feels good. So it might be gentle extension and bending, alternate legs. Could be more of a flutter, might be a swing of the feet from side to side instead, or swinging the feet in circles. Just feeling that sense of easing through the effort in the legs. When you're ready, we will come back to center, and we are going to do sit to stand today as we normally do. So we want enough of the buttocks on the seat that we feel really stable and secure when we come to rest the buttocks back down, but not doing as much of this today because we're going to do more fancy things standing up. So we are pressing the feet into the floor, feet nicely underneath the knees in a place where they can really support the body. We firm the pelvic floor and the belly muscles. And then as you reach forward, just floating the hips slightly from the chair and releasing down. Remember, as you do this, if you don't get much of a lift, it's okay. It comes with practice, and it comes as we gradually build the strength to support the movement. We're going to do two more like this. Hover if you can, and release. Hover if you can, and release. And then we're going to come up to standing. So here we're going to hover first and press into the legs to stand all the way tall. Take the arms nice and wide, maybe let the hips come slightly forward, and then back the way we go. Reaching the fingertips forward, the tailbone backwards, bending the knees over the feet, and resting lightly down with the buttocks. And then the same thing again. Hover, stand all the way tall, opening the chest, opening the front of the hips, and then reaching forward as the tailbone reaches back, really feeling strong and stable and steady on our feet. One more like this, all the way up and all the way down. And then this time we're going to stay standing up. So we reach forward to hover and stand tall. And this time we just let the arms come down to the side. Lovely job. Wriggle anything that needs wriggling, perhaps it's shoulders, but try if you can to keep your feet steady and stable exactly where they are. So here we're going to focus on that steadiness and see if we can find a little bit of the movement that we did sitting down but standing up. So focus on taking the big toes down to the floor, lifting all of the other toes off, and then all the other toes down, big toes lifted, and just maybe one or two more of these, going from side to side. It's just the front of the foot moving, the rest of the body's nice and steady, and then rolling to the outside edge of the foot, trying to keep the knees steady over the ankles, rolling to the inside edge. There's maybe a touch of movement between the knees, but not much. As we roll inwards and outwards, the rest of the leg really steady, really stable. Just finding that sense of strength through the leg, through the ankle, through the foot. Rest the feet down again and then press into those feet that are really active now and lengthen right up into the crown of your head. Soften the arms down to the side. Here, if you'd like to, I've stepped away from my chair, but if you would like a hand on something for support, you absolutely can. And if you ever feel unsteady on your feet, keep your eyes open. So you can look ahead to a point of focus, or you can drop your gaze to the floor, or you can close your eyes, whichever of these feels like the right thing for you to do in this moment. We connect down with our energy into the feet. We're going to lengthen the crown of the head right up, feeling that sense of buoyant lift. It's not rigid, it's just like you're slightly stretched between 2 points. Active in the pelvic floor, active in the abdominal muscles, a gentle drawing in and lift, maybe turning the palms forward. Have a softening of the shoulders down. Try not to lock your knees absolutely straight. A little softness across the knees as well encourages action in the muscles of the legs. And then here we're resting for 3 deep breaths, but if you wish to, you can repeat this mantra for the base chakra with your exhaled breath. Lam, 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 lam. And then allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm. Bringing the palms together at the center of the chest, lifting your chest, taking your chin towards your chest, feeling a soft smile across the face. And when you're ready, if your eyes were closed, blinking them open, and then raising your head, releasing your hands down, opening your eyes, and noticing how steady and stable you feel on your feet, how connected, how grounded. Now we are going to have to move our feet, but we'll still be able to tap into that sense of grounding. So we just want to widen our stance ever so slightly. If you're lucky, perhaps you can leave one of your feet in place so you get that extra sense of steadiness. And then we'll soften the knees here, and we're going to do gentle twists from side to side. So after holding that steadiness, the body likes to feel movement. We are designed to move, but we use the steadiness to build the stable strength from which to move. So a little lift in the pelvic floor, feeling the feet being nice and connected down. Today, if you can, just leaving your feet as they are. If you want to pivot on your toes, if it's better for your body to do that, feel free. But otherwise, just leaving the feet in place, we're going to bend the knees a little, get a little quicker with our twists. Nice and firm across the belly. Perhaps you can touch the opposite shoulder in front of you, the opposite side of the rib cage behind you. That gentle, energetic stimulation. And then for those who wish to, you can bring your head to steadiness, your hips to steadiness, and then really work into the legs a little stronger to move a little bit more vigorously in the upper body. So it's all about that strong, stable base and being able to move it this way. Fantastic. Let's do a few more to each side. And then we're just gently going to release the arms a little, the momentum a little, till we're back to standing steady in the center. Again, pressing down with the feet, finding that length through the body, maybe turning the palms open to release the shoulders and fingertips down. Take a deep breath in and just sigh out. Great stuff. Wonderful. Let us now work a little bit on these feet. We're going to move ourselves so that we can use the back of our chair for support. Oh, hearing me. So let me just pop this chair this way around on the mat. It should be helpful for us later. We've got our ball and block in place for if and when we need them. So we're going to start with a little raising and lowering of our heels. But now we're standing up, it requires a lot more effort from the body. So feet nice, they don't have to be narrow, they can be nice and wide. But maybe too wide is harder to maintain stability. So if I start with my feet really wide and I try and go up and down, it's harder for my legs to work this way because the joints aren't all in alignment. It is slightly easier for me to find more movement with the feet really underneath the hips. So using your chair for a little bit of steadiness and support, and anytime you want to, you can take your hands away from the chair. It's always there if you need it. Fingertip touch if you want to help your body to do a little bit more. So we're firm in the feet, the belly, the pelvic floor. We've got that sense of lift. Find a point of focus ahead of you that's not moving and rest your gaze there. And we're simply lifting ourselves, slowly peeling the heels off the floor onto the balls of the feet as high as you feel comfortable going, and then slowly lowering the heels to the floor. And as the heels come down, maybe there's that sense of almost rocking the weight into the heels of the feet, rocking the weight forward to lift the heels off the floor, coming up nice and slowly as high as feels comfortable without getting cramped, and then slowly down, nice and slow, rocking your weight just into the heels, rocking the weight forward into the toes. We're coming up, this is our last time doing it like this. And then we're slowly coming down again. Wonderful. We're rocking the weight back into the heels and then allowing it to come forward to center. We're going to soften the knees a little bit, just giving ourselves a gentle release there. Wonderful stuff. So this time we're going to place our block underneath the right foot. It doesn't matter if it's slightly in front of where your left foot is. The idea is that the block holds this leg slightly off the floor, slightly imbalances the way that the weight goes through the pelvis compared to both feet on the floor. So we're going to have to work this left hip to keep it over the left foot and to make it strong enough to hold this imbalance in center. And then here again, we're strong in the pelvic floor and the lower abdomen. We've got our point of focus. We're coming up onto the ball of the left foot as high as we can. A little bit more effort just on this side. And then we slowly lower the left heel to the floor, rocking the weight back into the heel. And then slightly forward, we peel the left heel off the floor, coming up really high, using the chair for support, firm in the center, slowly down, rocking back, coming forward one more time, coming up into that, lifted almost all of our weight on one side, and then slowly down, rocking back and finding center. We're going to place both feet on the floor and just notice the difference between the two sides of the body. So notice how much more effort has gone through that left leg. Let's change our blocks so that you can give yourself a little paddle in the knees if you need it. So we can step forward with the left foot on the block. And now we need to work that right hip to stabilize it right over the right foot. As you look down your leg, you can see your foot. You haven't sagged the hip out to the side. And then here, point of focus, firm in the center. We come onto the ball of the right foot. I know you can't really see it now, but it is, we're on the ball as high as we can go. And then we let the right heel come down to the floor and just let the weight come into the heel and then forward into the ball of the foot. Find that lift under the heel as we come up. Beautiful work through the center, slowly down, like taking the weight into the heel of the foot and then forward again, coming into the ball of the foot, lifting the heel nice and high. We're not really putting much weight down through the left leg. We're bringing the heel of the foot down, swinging into the heel and then back to center, putting both feet on the ground, and just checking to see if there's any sense of imbalance or if it feels like that's fairly even. And we can leave our feet steady here and just give our hips a little sway, which helps us to release effort that we might be holding on to in an unhelpful way. So it could be circling here, or it could be little figures of 8. You can allow your shoulders to do a little dancing as well, just freeing up any tension from the body, but keeping the feet nice and steady. Awesome sauce. So having prepared for doing some one-legged work, we can now swap our blocks for a ball, and we are going to place the ball behind the back of the left leg. I think it's probably easier for me to demonstrate it on this side first. So using the chair still, and we want to have still as we look down the legs, almost as if we were standing on both feet. The hips are very steady, our weight is centered. We're working into that right leg to stand nice and tall, just squeezing my ball a little bit more. So we need to use a little bit of effort in the left leg to keep the ball in place. We're standing really tall. We're just going to move the left knee backwards and then the left knee forwards. So we're practicing this motion, left knee backwards, left knee forwards. We're finding a little bit of open space through the front of the left thigh, and then we're drawing that thigh towards us. Let's do 2 more. Left knee backwards, left knee forwards, strong and stable and steady. 1 more time. And then we can release the ball, stand onto both feet, and just notice the difference between the 2 sides of the body. If you need to do a little paddling, a little wiggling of the hips, a little undulation, you go for it. Then we'll go to the other side. So we're just adjusting our position so we can place the ball behind the right knee. We want to use that left leg to stabilize the left hip over the left foot. And then we're reaching the right knee backwards, right knee forwards. Strong and steady. Pelvic floor working. Feet really well, foot really working. And we just draw a little bit backwards and forwards, finding that openness down the right side of the body, and then drawing in. 1 more, I think. We'll do an extra one just in case, because sometimes I lose count. All the time, as it happens. We can just release that ball, step onto both feet, just noticing the difference between the 2 sides of the body, giving our legs a little shake out. Very nice. So if you feel at any time you need to stretch in any other direction, when we're very focused in the base, sometimes we can hold a little tension across our body. So if you need to wriggle yourself or do forwards and backwards, you can absolutely do that. I'm going to put the ball down for a moment, but we are going to come to using it again shortly. So now we're going to do chair pose, Utkatasana, and we're going to do it first with the feet nice and centered underneath the hips, using our point of focus ahead of us, hands onto the chair, nice and firm in the pelvic floor and the belly muscles. We are pressing the feet down and then just bending the knees. So it's just the knees. You might even have a sense of the body slightly leans back to stop leaning forwards here. But you bend the knees to wherever they naturally go. And then we're going to use a little tuck out and tuck under of the pelvis. So we're moving the hips backwards and forwards, like we're doing pelvic tilting, which is exactly what we're doing. But we just want to find wherever center is and rest there in the center. Really activate the feet again. Really activate the pelvic floor and the belly muscles. Hold here. You can hold with 1 hand on the chair or no hands on the chair. If no hands are on the chair, bring your hands to the center of your chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. If you want to be really fancy, you can imagine you're carrying an enormous beach ball and reach the arms out to the sides. Nice lift in the belly as you hold. Breathing deeply. Whenever you're ready, you can breathe in to lengthen the legs and breathe out to bring your arms down to your side. Take some time. So if you drawing the arms down makes you feel a little bit dizzy, hold on to your chair or sit down, even better. Give your knees a little wiggle. If you can, keep your feet where they are without shaking out the legs completely, and you get that extra sense of stable grounding. So we'll come back to our first posture. We are going to place the hands, place the gaze, activate our core, breathe in here, breathe out, and bend the knees. Now, without tipping forwards, just finding that neutral spine, and then we're going to lift the left heel and lower, and then lift the right heel and lower. So we're trying to keep the rest of the body really stable. We can only do that by using the effort in the legs and our core. So we don't want to move from side to side as we do this. We want to keep really steady and stable. And if you want to get really fancy, holding onto your chair, and imagine that you're floating one heel and then the other, a bit more rhythmic, maybe even a little bit quicker, so that you have the knees bent all of the time, just feels a little bit more effortful. When you're ready, both heels down, press into the legs to stand tall. Take a moment here, perhaps a cleansing breath is ideal to breathe in, take the arms around the body and up, breathing in our palms together at the center of the chest, and we can do that 2 more times. Feet stable and steady, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Very nice. So from here, we're going to do a little downward facing dog, which is a really nice way to ease out some of our effort here. So feet back, soft knees, lengthening the tailbone backwards as you bring your chest down towards the floor. So we're almost parallel to the floor, perhaps. We can ease the hips from side to side. The knees stay nice and soft so that we've got the opportunity to move a little bit more through the body. Pressing into the hands. When you're ready, in the center, you could perhaps lengthen one leg and then the other. So the focus is a little bit more on the movement through the legs rather than through the torso, although I find this gives me a little twist through the torso. It's fine to go with that. Turn the head if you'd like to. And then we're going to press into the hands and the feet, lift the head and chest, walk forward to be standing next to our seat. Awesome sauce. So we're going to combine our movements into something a bit more fancy. And I'm going to show this to you without the ball and then with the ball. So we're going to come back, so watching for now. We're going to come back into our downward dog type of pose, nice and soft in the knees, and then we'll step 1 foot back. For many people, this may be enough. Really focused on the arms being supportive as well. We can lift the leg off the floor if it feels good. And what we might do is a couple of up and down, and then knee into chest and lengthening the leg back. So it's this movement that we'll end up doing. When we have done a few of these, we're going to put the ball into the back of the knee, and we're going to do the same thing, lifting the knee up so that the hip is high-ish, and then knee into chest to round forward and lengthening back, maybe even looking slightly forward. So we get a little bit more movement through our torso as well with this, whilst at the same time really stabilizing in our standing leg. So you can hold onto your ball if you want to, so it's ready to put in, or you can just have it close by, maybe on the ground or on your chair. And we will take our downward facing dog position. So we don't want the feet too far away from the chair because we don't want to have to pull the chair towards us. We do want to just be able to press down. We'll bring the feet quite close together. Firm the belly. Think about lengthening the tailbone, that space underneath the arms, the back of the neck. Press your right foot into the floor and then just glide your left toes backwards a little bit. It might be enough for you to simply hold this, but if you'd like to, you can gently lift that foot and lower, really firm in the standing leg, really firm in the belly muscles. Try not to let your right hip sway to the right. When your toes touch down, you might want to gently drag the toes in forwards and then step the toes back, or from a lifted leg, you can bring the knee into the chest and lengthen the leg back to straight behind you. So we're going to do 2 more of those, whichever variation feels good. One more. And then both feet on the floor. Take a moment just to stand upright so that you can gather your ball from wherever. And using the ball is completely optional. So if you want to do this just without the ball, or if you just want to rest before we move to the other side, you can do. If you're using the ball behind the left knee, coming back into that lengthened position for our downward dog variation, and then pressing into the right foot, just draw the left knee into the chest, maybe round through the whole spine, slightly lifting the back up towards the ceiling, and then lengthen your left heel behind you, maybe lengthening through the front of the body as well. Knee into chest, and then easing that leg back to a more straightened position one more time. Should be getting quite intense for that standing leg. When you're ready, you can bring your knee forward as you release the ball from the left leg. Step your feet all the way forward into your chair, using support if you need to, then just relaxing for a moment. Resting your ball down somewhere so that you can wriggle out your shoulders, maybe wriggle out your hips, and notice the difference between the two legs. Maybe give them a little shake out as well. So we're doing the same thing on the other side. If you feel that you push too far on that side, remember you can bug out at any time or take some of the earlier variations. We are taking the first downward facing dog with the feet towards each other, maybe not absolutely together, but towards each other. Feel that length in the tailbone, the lift in the belly muscles, weight onto the left leg, and step the right foot back. You might hold here, or you might like to gently lift the right leg from the floor and lower. Firm the hands into the seat of the chair as well as you do that, and really think about the stability of your left leg. When your toes come down this time, you might glide your toes in as you bend the knee, drawing it forwards and lengthen back, or from the lifted leg position, you can draw your right knee into your chest and lengthen the leg back. We're going to do two more of whatever variation feels good to you. Lovely job. And then just coming to a place where you can grab hold of your ball, so upright enough to be able to do that. We can place the ball into the back of the right leg, the back of the right knee, find our position again, and here again, pressing into that foot, firming the belly, the pelvic floor, the hands, relaxing the back of the neck. We're drawing the right knee into the chest to round through the spine, and then we're lengthening the right knee as far back as feels comfortable, just to find that sense of lift and lengthen the front of the body. Drawing in to round through the spine, drawing back to lift and lengthen. One more time. And then as you draw your knee forward, you can just catch hold of the ball. Maybe both feet on the floor, nice wide feet, swing the knees from side to side, wiggle anything out that needs wiggling, and in your own time, make your way back to standing. Oh, it feels so nice to stand up after all of that. And here we can use one arm at a time. So we're going to stand nice and tall. Just make one big circle around the body with your left or right arm first. It doesn't matter which one. And we'll do two more like that. Lovely big circles around the body. Last one on this side. And then the same thing on the other side. I haven't got a chair to hold on to on this side, but it doesn't matter. Hold on to anything or hold on to nothing if you prefer. I like holding on to something because it means I can really feel the other side moving as we circle. Beautiful. And now we are ready for relaxation. So any final movements you fancy giving yourself, if you want to wiggle, if you want to release, you can place any equipment that you've got somewhere on the floor that's safe, so it's not going to roll under feet or cause a disturbance. And then gathering your blanket, or maybe you've just got an extra layer today. The sun has just decided to shine here, but it hasn't been very sunny earlier in the day. So Depends. We're going to sit back into our seats so that we feel the back of the chair supporting the back of the body. And maybe you've got your feet on something, or maybe they're just resting on the floor. That is fine. Remember, for this part of the class, you can always sit in a comfier seat, recline on your sofa or in bed, if you prefer. In mat classes, we would lie all the way down, and it's that connection of the back of the body into support that really helps us to feel relaxed. Rest your hands wherever they're comfortable. You can close your eyes now. And as the body comes to this more supported pose, releasing the feelings of effort through particularly the feet and the legs, the pelvis, the center of the body, where it's been where we've called on the body for strength and support. Feel that softening now. As we bring our bodies to stillness, we'll use a deep breath in and sigh as you exhale. Again, a deep breath in. Release all of your effort as you sigh out. A deep breath in. Allow your muscles to soften as you exhale. One more deep breath in. Feel yourself surrender back and down as you exhale. Allow your breath to fall into its natural rhythm and fall into quietness. Feel a softness across your forehead, space between your eyebrows. Feel the area around your eyes relaxing, your mouth, tongue, jaw releasing. Allow the whole of the body to feel heavy but warm, supported, softening back and down. Move your awareness to your breath. Allow your breath to find that slow, deep rhythm. Perhaps now at this end of our practice, it feels more natural to just settle into the steadiness of that deep breath. With each breath out, allow your body to feel a little more connected, more grounded, more steady, more stable. Drawing in energy with each breath in, but with each breath out, feeling secure, earthed, like a mountain, steady as a rock, immovable, strong from within. If you wish to, with each exhalation, you can internally repeat the mantra Lam, or if you prefer, you can repeat any English word that is similar, so grounding, stable, strong, or Lam. And continue like this for the remainder of relaxation. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Bring your awareness back to your hands and your feet by moving your fingers, your toes, maybe rolling your wrists and your ankles. When you feel ready, taking a long, deep breath in and stretching the body in a way that feels good. Maybe stretching the face in a yawn, maybe lengthening one side and then the other. Maybe just finding a way to expand from center. In your own time, you might gather yourself back towards center and sit so that you can rest the palms together at the center of the chest or onto the legs as you choose. Lifting your head and then gently bowing the chin towards the chest. Give yourself a soft smile. Today, we've really prepared the legs for carrying us through the journey of life. And in addition, we've found that centered strength that allows us to move with confidence and stability. I hope that you will feel these energies throughout your week and can draw on that sense of inner calm as you go as well. Whenever you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. Thank you so much for joining in this practice. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you feel it in the week. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste.